You really thought a generic sort of stallion was going to do something against our boy Jitae?
This knight is out here screaming his lungs out like a main character, only for Jitae to block his ultimate move with zero effort. It is honestly embarrassing to watch.
This formless sword user thought he was the peak of the food chain, but Jitae decides it is nap time.
One single strike and this supposed elite is eating the floor. Local human humbles a bunch of tin cans, and we are absolutely here for the disrespect. The rest of the squad is finally starting to use their last 2 brain cells.
They realize this isn't some random mortal they can bully.
They are looking at a transcendent being who probably eats gods for breakfast, and the vibe in the room just went from subjugation to please don't kill us. Jitae is just standing there, looking like the final boss he actually is. He is surrounded by these so-called guardians who are now trembling in their boots. It is time for a little Q&A session, and Jitae is not in a patient mood. RMC wants to know how these losers are even alive. A dimensional collapse should have turned them into cosmic dust, yet here they are, trespassing in his house. He demands to know who gave them a cheat code to survive the wipe. The lead knight starts yapping about something called the twist of dimension. Apparently, their lord tried to open a back door to the nest, but the universe said no and slapped them across the dimensional boundary like unwanted leftovers. We get a glimpse of the absolute chaos that went down. These guys were flung out of their world because the dimensions got warped. Now Jitae is digging deeper, asking for the juicy details on this twist that messed up his peaceful life. Here comes the lore drop. The knight mentions the horizon of providence. This is the source of all the distortion, and it is a concept so wild that even Jitae looks a bit rattled. When the MC gets worried, you know things are about to get scandalous. Jitae is doing some mental gymnastics because this horizon thing never appeared in any of his previous regressions. This timeline is officially going off the rails, and our boy is realizing that his guidebook to the future is now basically useless. The knight claims some mysterious wolf from beyond that horizon guided them straight to the dragon hatchlings.
Jitae is skeptical, so he decides it is time to use his cheat code eyes to see if this tin can is capping or actually telling the truth.
He activates the scales of balance eye, an authority he basically borrowed from a Grand Duke.
This eye is the ultimate lie detector, discerning truth from falsehood with zero margin for error.
The verdict? This knight isn't lying, which makes the situation even more annoying. Jitae is internally fuming. He spent countless lives double-checking dimensions to make sure no threats remained, yet this unknown influence is still poking its nose into his business. The knight adds that the guiding will sounded like it was constantly cursing. RMC is gripping his sword so hard you can practically hear the metal screaming. He hates variables he can't control, and this dissatisfied will is a massive red flag.
He looks like he wants to punch the concept of fate itself right in the face.
Suddenly, his Grand Clock authority starts acting up. Chains of light erupt everywhere as the skill identifies a twisted flow of time. It is like Jitae's own powers are sounding the alarm that the timeline is being tampered with by outside forces. The Grand Clock is not playing around, designating anything from outside the timeline as a hostile enemy. Jitae stares at the hourglass of destiny, realizing he is now the official janitor of the world's timeline, and he is about to start cleaning very soon. Since he can't fix the timeline shifts this exact second, Jitae decides to be merciful. He tells the knights to scram. He is already protecting the dragons, so these budget guardians are officially redundant and need to find a new hobby. Most of the knights are tripping over themselves to leave. They know they just survived a meeting with a literal monster.
They are waving goodbye like they just got out of a horror movie, happy to still have their heads attached to their necks.
But wait, there is always one loyal simp in the bunch. One knight refuses to leave his post, yapping about history and causality. Jitae is not impressed and decides to give this guy a taste of real pressure by literally stepping on his pride. Jitae is standing on this guy like he is a discarded rug, asking him one last time if he is going to leave. The knight is struggling to breathe under the weight of Jitae's aura, but he is still holding on to his loyalty like it's a lifeline. Jitae reveals he already deleted the other hostile threats and this was just a final exam. The other knights call their buddy a dull fool who doesn't know how to take his freedom when it is offered. They basically tell Jitae he can do whatever he wants with the idiot. RMC sighs and decides that since this guy is so stubborn about being a guardian, he might as well put him to work.
He dispels the killing intent, and the knight is left wondering why he is still alive while his friends are basically disowning him.
Jitae asks why he is so obsessed with the green dragon. The knight admits his loyalty hasn't run out yet. Jitae points out the obvious, the guy is weak as hell compared to him. If he wants to stay near the dragons, he needs a new job description. The girls come out to see what the noise is about, only to find Jitae introducing his newest hire. This elite guardian of history and causality is now wearing a pink apron. Congratulations, you are the new house janitor. From protecting dimensions to scrubbing floors, talk about a career peak. Imagine being a legendary warrior from another world just to end up doing the dishes in a pink apron. Our big armored guardian is having a total existential crisis over some soap suds, and honestly, I am here for it. Jitae is literally the coldest boss in history, telling this powerhouse that his new mission is to be a house janitor. The guardian is out here trying to protect dragons, but Jitae basically tells him to shut up and grab a mop.
If you thought your manager was scary, Jitae just threatened to straight up destroy him if he misses a spot.
This is not a career path, it is a survival game, and our armored friend is failing the vibe check. Enter Lady Bom, the green-haired goddess who immediately turns this hardened warrior into the world's biggest simp. One look at her and he is ready to scrub the floors until they sparkle like her eyes. She actually tells him the apron looks good on him, and you can practically see the steam coming out of his helmet. He is blushing so hard under that metal, it is actually embarrassing. Simp levels are off the charts. He gets so hyped to serve Lady Bom that he starts breaking the expensive plates while promising to keep her hands dry. Bro, you are supposed to clean the house, not demolish the kitchenware. Meanwhile, we get a massive dose of cuteness as Joel shows off her new outfits. Bom is basically a professional photographer at this point, capturing every single adorable moment of our tiny blue dragon.
Jill is trying to act cool, but she cannot hide that tiny smile that is literally melting everyone in the room.
Even the janitor is forced to admit she looks perfect in everything. Everyone is a simp for Joel, no exceptions.
Gul thinks the janitor has a way with words, but Jitae is here to kill the mood like a pro.
He notices Gul has been practicing the guitar and gives her a look that says, "Stop wasting time," without saying a word. Gul tries to play it off as a hobby, but Jitae is a certified fun hater. Thankfully, Bom steps in to defend our musical dragon before Jitae can roast her soul into oblivion. The janitor reports that Urium is currently a human-shaped disaster zone. He tried to clean her room, but the red dragon basically told him to get lost before she turned him into scrap metal. She is definitely in a mood. Jitae decides to investigate and finds Urium looking like she just crawled out of a dumpster. Her room is filled with empty cans and cigarette butts. This is not a dragon's lair, it is a frat house basement. Turns out our fierce warrior dragon is addicted to human K-dramas. She is 7 seasons deep into some trashy show and claims it is garbage while literally refusing to stop watching. Girl, we have all been there. Jitae just stares at the screen like, is this what my life has become? Urium is out here losing sleep over fictional plot holes while her room smells like a literal crime scene. Jitae tells her to just stop watching if it is so bad, and she actually considers it for a second like he is some kind of genius. These dragons might be powerful, but their common sense is basically zero. Decision made. Jitae announces a mandatory deep clean because these dragons are living like absolute savages. He tells them they need to act like humans if they want to stay on Earth, starting with their messy-ass rooms. Urium is throwing a total tantrum because Jitae entered her lair without permission. Jitae just hits her with the facts, her lair is a dump and she is a lazy dragon.
The truth hurts, doesn't it?
Urium tries to argue that having a janitor means she should never have to lift a finger.
She even tries to gross out Gul with some nasty habits, leading to a high-pitched dragon scream that probably broke some windows.
In a total red flag move, Urium dumps all her chores on the janitor and runs off to the gym. Meanwhile, Gul escapes to go grocery shopping, leaving the poor armored guy to deal with the biohazard. Bom is planning a massive feast because the family is growing, but Jitae looks at her cooking and sees a literal purple poison cloud. If the cleaning doesn't kill them, Bom's fine dishes definitely will. The janitor enters Uriam's room and is nearly taken out by the smell. He says it is worse than the energy of the demon world. Imagine being a warrior who faced hell, only to be defeated by a messy girl's bedroom. This Jitae starts lecturing the janitor on the importance of recycling. He is talking about sorting cans and plastic like it is the most important thing in the universe. Who is this civilized version of our cold MC?
The janitor realizes this is Jitae's shadow clone, and the tension is thick enough to cut with a sword.
They are having a standoff over garbage sorting, which is the most slice-of-life drama I have ever seen. The real Jitae walks in and finds them staring each other down. He tells the clone to stop being a diva and help with the manual labor. Even Jitae's own shadows are not safe from the cleaning grind. While Uriam is getting her gains at the gym and BOM is shopping, the men are back home working like slaves. The house is finally starting to look like a place where humans actually live instead of a disaster zone. Cleaning is done, but the grind never stops. Jitae gives his clone a new mission map. We are heading to Moscow, Russia, baby. It is time to deal with some real demonic human trash. The target is a group called Invisibility that is cooking up some Prototype X monstrosity. Jitae wants the clone to wrap up his police work and go handle this transcendent threat. Plot is finally heating up. BOM returns with enough groceries to feed a small army.
She is all smiles, totally oblivious to the fact that Jitae is planning an international hit job while she was buying apples.
Jitae pulls a fast one and tells the clone to swap clothes with him.
The clone realizes he was only summoned to do the heavy lifting and act as a body double.
The level of disrespect is legendary. The day ends with a family dinner of purple soup that looks like it came from a radioactive swamp.
The dragons love it, the janitor is officially part of the squad, and Jitae is just standing there wondering how his life became a chaotic sitcom.
We start in a literal slaughterhouse near the lair, where our boy Jitae is currently turning some poor fodder into a human puddle. This trash mob actually thinks he has leverage while coughing up blood, asking Jitae if he really thinks he can get away with this. The audacity is off the charts as this demonic human tries to flex. He tells Jitae he should be begging on his knees if he knew who was backing him. Jitae just stares with those dead eyes, looking like he has heard this script 1,000 times, because he literally has. Jitae doesn't just know, he starts dropping names like he is reading the credits. He calls out Professor Yuan of the Blue Dragon School, or as he is known in the underworld, a demonic simp for the organization called Invisibility. The look of pure terror on the fodder face is worth its weight in gold.
It is time for a little truth serum, and by that, I mean Jitae activating his scales of balance eyes.
This SS rank authority is basically a cosmic lie detector that makes your soul itch. He tells the guy to stop the cap and start talking, or things are going to get way more messy. These seats aren't just for show. We are talking about disaster-level powerhouses who can command their own legions. Imagine a walking natural disaster with an army of psychos behind them. That is the kind of smoke Yuan is trying to inhale. Jitae is smelling something fishy, and it is not just the dead bodies. In every other regression run, Yuan was a mid-tier loser who never even got close to a seat.
Suddenly, this guy is a mastermind?
The math is not mateing, and Jitae knows someone has been messing with the timeline. It turns out Yuan is an anomaly fueled by malice from outside the current timeline. He is basically a glitch in the matrix who has kept the best elements from past lives to interfere with Jitae's plans. This guy is literally a cheat code character trying to ruin the run.
Jitae realizes that this outside force can interfere with everything related to him. The informant, thinking he is still part of the conversation, whimpers that this is all he knows.
Honestly, buddy, you should have just stayed home today. Now comes the classic loser move. The guy starts begging for mercy, claiming he has a sick mother waiting for him. He even promises to be a double agent. Jitae just gives him a look that says, I have heard that one in at least 5 different timelines.
Jitae hits him with the ultimate cold line. Even if you were telling the truth, you would still be dead.
He snaps his fingers and activates his destruction authority, because our MC does not do forgiveness and he definitely does not do sparing witnesses. While Jitae is plotting counterterrorism, we see a glimpse of the school life he is trying to protect. He knows if Yun succeeds, the Lair Academy is going to become ground zero for a disaster.
He is the only one who sees the storm coming while everyone else is enjoying the sun.
Enter the cuteness overload.
Random bystanders are losing their minds over how adorable little Jewel is.
Look at her with that blue hair and her stuffed bear. She is pouting because people won't stop staring at her, and honestly, same, Jewel, same. The fan club is growing by the second, but then Jitae shows up looking like a Grim Reaper in a dress shirt. The girls gushing over Jewel get the absolute fright of their lives when they see his scary face.
They probably think he is about to kidnap her, but nope, he is just the guardian.
Jitae asks if they have business with the kid, and they scatter like roaches when the lights turn on. BOM finally catches up, looking like a literal angel in the middle of this chaos.
She has been looking for him all day while he was out doing his business, which we know involved a lot of blood.
BOM and Jitae sit on a bench, and she is just happy to spend some quiet time together before the school year starts.
She is the heart of this group, always trying to find a moment of peace while Jitae is busy worrying about the end of the world. Then BOM drops the bomb. She says they look like a family sitting there, and she jokingly suggests that Jewel is the daughter, she is the mother, and Jitae is the father. The shipping community just exploded, but Jitae's reaction is basically a blank stare. Jewel is just vibing in the background, completely unaware that her parents are having a moment. BOM is teasing Jitae, but you can tell she kind of means it. Jitae, being the ultimate brick wall, just tells her to stop saying strange things. BOM bursts out laughing, telling him he doesn't have to look so serious. She was just kidding. Or was she? Jitae just wants to go home because his social battery is at 0% after a long day of murder and domestic roleplay. We get a beautiful sunset shot as the family heads home. But don't get too comfortable, because the next morning is the start of the school semester. The cherry blossoms are falling, and the students are out in force. It is the calm before the academic storm. The academy looks high-tech and fancy, but we know it is crawling with future problems. Gul is the most hyped person on the planet right now. She is finally going to school. Look at that sparkle in her eyes, she is pure cinnamon roll energy. Gul is running through the streets with a piece of toast in her mouth. Why? Because she is obsessed with a romantic myth from her homeland, Escalifa. Apparently, if you bump into someone while eating toast, they are your destined partner. This girl has been watching way too much shoujo anime. She meets up with Yuriam and starts listing her classes, magic studies, sociology, the whole nerd starter pack. Yuriam is just looking at the toast like, girl, didn't you already eat breakfast at home? Gul just gives her a smug look because Yuriam clearly doesn't understand the toast meta. Gul explains the whole destined partner thing with a flashback to Escalifa, featuring some very confused-looking lizard folk. It is a classic trope, and Gul is determined to make it happen.
She is manifesting her fated encounter with every bite of that bread.
Just as she is dreaming about her cool destined partner, she accidentally slams right into someone.
She thinks this is it.
Fate has arrived. But instead of a handsome prince, she hears a very familiar ouch, and realizes she just headbutted Yuriam. Yuriam gives her a devious smirk and asks if that makes her the fated partner now.
Gul is having a mental breakdown because you are a girl. Yuriam just laughs it off, saying she saw some American dramas where that doesn't matter at all. The chaos between these sisters is top tier. The conversation shifts to Jitae, who promised to come for class observation but is currently MIA.
Yuriam wonders if the geezer is secretly seeing a girl, which makes Bum start sweating buckets.
She knows Jitae's dates usually involve a sword and a lot of screaming.
As they approach the school gates, they see a massive swarm of reporters. These vultures are looking for the next big scoop, and unfortunately for our girls, they have a very recognizable face in their group. The flashes are going off like crazy. The reporters are whispering, and then one of them spots her, Yuriam. The girl who absolutely folded Sofia Vorkova and then gave the most I don't give a damn interview in history. She is a viral sensation, and these reporters want a piece of her. Yuriam's face is all over the news and the internet comments. People either love her or hate her, but everyone is obsessed. The reporters charge forward like a zombie horde, shoving microphones in her face and asking for an interview. Gul is terrified, hiding behind Urium while the cameras click away. Urium is trying to keep her cool, but you can see the vein popping in her forehead. She just wanted to have a normal first day of school, but these trash reporters didn't get the memo. Finally, Urium snaps. She lets out a roar telling everyone to shut up, and the entire plaza goes silent.
She tells them that if the last interview wasn't enough for them, she is happy to take them all on, one by one.
We end with the most iconic shot of the chapter, Urium smiling like a total psycho while giving the reporters the middle finger. She tells the trash reporters to come at her. Class is in session, and the first lesson is don't mess with a dragon. Imagine being a literal war machine, but your biggest nightmare is a tiny blue-haired toddler. Our armored janitor is currently sweating bullets because babysitting duty is officially on the menu and he is failing the vibe check.
Jitae is heading out and leaves the house in the hands of a guy who thinks cleaning is a boss battle. The knight realizes that taking care of Jewel is a task way harder than scrubbing floors, and the dread is real.
The silence in this room is so heavy it could crush a monster. To break the ice, our armored simp tries to act like a normal human and asks Jewel if she wants to read a picture book. Big mistake. He is literally vibrating with awkwardness while Jewel just stares into his soul. This is what happens when you spend too much time in a dungeon and zero time at a daycare. Time to pivot to some literature. He pulls out a book titled, My Dad is a Fairy. It should be wholesome, right? Wrong. This guy is about to overanalyze a children's story like it is a classified military document from the underworld.
Jewel actually looks interested for a second, thinking she is getting a cute story.
Little does she know, her guardian is about to turn this fairy tale into a dark historical documentary about war and suffering. Instead of a magical forest, this armored scholar claims the setting is a primordial death trap from before the Demon Age. Bro, it is just a drawing of some trees, why are we talking about ancient apocalypses? He points at the characters and casually theorizes that the mom is definitely dead because, in that era, having even one parent alive was a literal miracle. This guy is the ultimate buzzkill at parties. He claims the bedtime stories mentioned in the book are probably just propaganda from the Great War. He even labels the little girl in the story as a war fanatic. Someone please take the book away from him. The dad in the story goes missing, and instead of saying he went to buy milk, this knight suggests he went to the front lines to capture war concubines. Look at the carnage in his imagination, he is totally unhinged. Jewel looks like she just witnessed a crime. Her face is a mix of pure horror and why is this my life? Our knight is still yapping, completely oblivious to the fact that he just traumatized a child. Jewel has finally had enough of the historical trauma and points towards the corner.
The knight realizes he ruined the mood so hard that even the toddler wants him to go sit in timeout.
While the knight sulks in the corner like a rejected RPG protagonist, the scene shifts to the academy. We get a glimpse of a mystery blonde, but the real drama is just pulling up in a black sedan. Enter Gong Juhee, the heiress of a top-tier swordsmanship clan who cares more about her foundation shade than her family legacy. She is the textbook definition of a high-maintenance red flag. Juhee is out here complaining that sword training makes her sweaty and ruins her makeup. She sees a crowd of reporters and naturally assumes they are all there to worship her. The ego on this girl is massive.
Her secretary has to drop the truth bomb. The media does not care about her.
Juhee is fuming as she realizes she is being overshadowed.
She pushes through the crowd to see who stole her spotlight. It is Urium, and she is casually sitting on a male student like he is a piece of IKEA furniture. The best part? The guy is a total simp and says it is a reward. Modern society is truly cooked, guys. The reporters are desperate for a scoop, but Urium is not playing. She tells them they get one question each and better make it fast. She immediately cancels a reporter just because his intro was too long. Savage. A French reporter asks her how it feels to be the center of the superhuman world, and she just says it sucks while picking her nose. She even calls her own fan cafe members idiots. She really has zero chill. Then comes this greasy reporter, Park Gango. He is looking for a scandal and starts grilling her about her past interviews. You can practically smell the desperation and sweat coming off this guy through the screen. Yuriam decides to troll him into the shadow realm. She leans in with a smirk and asks if he wants to have relations with her. The entire crowd goes silent. She just nuked this man's career with one sentence. The reporter tries to play it off as a joke, but he's actually a snake. He threatens to write a malicious article filled with his own twisted interpretations if she does not behave. He really chose death today.
Gango thinks he is a genius for provoking her to get views. He is grinning like a creep, thinking he has the upper hand.
Little does he know, Yuriam is about 5 seconds away from catching a murder charge. Yuriam loses her patience and prepares to turn this guy into a red stain on the pavement. She lunges forward, but a hand suddenly snatches her out of the air. The boss has finally entered the chat. Jitae arrives with impeccable timing, stopping Yuriam from ending the reporter.
Gull is just happy to see him, but Yuriam is still trying to bite the reporter head off.
She is a literal rabid dog at this point. Jitae just picks her up like a sack of potatoes and ends the interview right there.
Yuriam is flailing around, screaming to be put down, but Jitae is not hearing any of it.
The interview is officially over. Before leaving, Jitae drops a chilling aura that makes every reporter in the area want to retire. He warns them not to publish a single word about this incident, and his eyes say he is not joking. The greasy reporter is left shaking in his boots as Jitae walks away. He tells Gull to get to class so she is not late for her first day. Even when he is threatening the media, he is still a responsible guardian. Gong Joo-hee is left standing there, absolutely stunned by the raw power she just witnessed. She is already planning to investigate which clan these monsters belong to. The school year just got a lot more dangerous. Welcome to the academy, where even the legendary swordsmanship classes start with a lecture so dry it could turn a dragon into a raisin.
Meet Professor Kai, the guy who thinks talking about history is more important than actually swinging a blade.
And here is our favorite red-headed menace, Yuriam, who is currently 1 second away from choosing violence.
She is not here for the mindset of a warrior. She just wants to know the fastest way to turn someone into a kebab.
Our girl is literally enduring this boredom only because she has a massive grudge against the hooded armor chunk known as Jitae. She is manifesting his downfall while sitting in a desk, which is peak relatable behavior for anyone stuck in a math class. Since the lecture is a total snooze fest, Yuriam decides to test Jitae's patience by leaning on him.
She thinks she is being a master seductress, asking if he is embarrassed by the physical contact.
Girl, you are trying to flirt with a literal brick wall. Jitae just gives her the 1,000-yard stare of a man who has seen the end of the world and finds it less exhausting than this teenager. Yuriam pouts because her charms are hitting a 0% success rate. It is honestly embarrassing to watch. She complains that being kidnapped was supposed to be all dopamine and high-stakes drama. Instead, she is stuck in this weird family roleplay where she has to do homework and attend lectures. This is not the villain arc she signed up for. Yuriam is out here demanding fighting, killing, and the sweet taste of victory.
She is basically a walking red flag with a caffeine addiction, and the professor is finally starting to notice that his star pupil is losing her mind in the back row.
Professor Kai finally snaps. He sees Yuriam acting like a restless chihuahua and decides that a little manual labor is the perfect cure for her bad attitude. Look at that smug mustache, he knows he is about to ruin her entire day. The sentence is passed, detention and floor scrubbing. Yuriam looks like she wants to incinerate the entire building, but Jitae is right there to make sure she actually picks up a sponge. This is the ultimate fall from grace for a dragon. Scrubbing floors is apparently worse than a physical beating for our red dragon.
She is fuming, wondering why she is the one doing the dirty work while Jitae just watches.
This is the least glamorous training montage in the history of manhwa. She suggests calling the house janitor, you know, the literal living suit of armor, to do the job.
But Jitae reminds her that the armor guy is busy babysitting the blue dragon, Jewel.
Yuriam is officially out of excuses and out of luck. She asks the big question, is your life even fun? And Jitae, being the absolute ray of sunshine that he is, just says not really. Imagine being so OP that even living becomes a chore. He is the definition of suffering from success. He explains that he lives simply because life continues and he cannot give up. Yuriam calls it an edgy teenager line, and honestly, she is not wrong. He is reaching levels of brooding protagonist that should not even be possible. Back at the lair, the mood is still trash. Yuriam is trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, which is hilarious because she has the patience of a ticking time bomb. The armor guy is just hovering there, being a total creep as usual. The armor guy's clanking is driving her insane. She finally loses it and chucks the cube at his head. Poor guy is just trying to do his job, but being a guardian in this house is basically a death sentence with extra steps. Yuriam is spiraling because she hasn't had a good fight lately. She is basically a shark that needs to keep biting things to stay alive. The sisters are watching her like she is a zoo animal having a mental breakdown.
Then she does the unthinkable.
She calls the green dragon by her actual name, BOM. BOM looks like she just saw a ghost. Usually, Yuriam only uses names when she is about to commit a felony or if she is dying. BOM is genuinely worried that Yuriam has a fever, but our red dragon is just having an existential crisis. She wants to know why anyone bothers living if they are as miserable and boring as Jitae. The vibes in the room are officially cooked. BOM leans over to Joel and whispers that Yuriam is finally entering puberty. The reaction is instant. Yuriam can hear everything, and she is absolutely fuming. Nothing offends a dragon more than being told they are just a hormonal teen. Yuriam repeats Jitae's edgy line about life continuing.
Joel thinks it sounds exactly like something their mister would say.
It is official, Jitae has successfully infected the children with his nihilism. We love to see it.
She points out that humans usually live for enjoyment.
Like Gul, who is currently about to ascend to heaven just by eating a piece of cake. Look at that yellow monkey, she is the only one in this house with a functioning serotonin level.
And then there is Joel, who is perfectly happy playing with a ragged teddy bear.
Yuriam is the only one overthinking everything, while BOM just sits there looking pretty and mysterious.
Seriously, BOM is the ultimate don't let them know your next move character. Yuriam calls BOM and Jitae the unreadable duo. They are both super boring and impossible to figure out. It is like living with two statues that occasionally give you chores and life advice you did not ask for. But BOM has a secret. She tells Yuriam that Jitae is actually surprisingly shy. Wait, what?
The bloodless, tearless psychopath who stares down monsters for breakfast is
shy? BOM, what kind of fanfiction are you writing? Yuriam is disgusted.
She is convinced that Jitae is a cold-blooded robot, and that Bomb must be seeing things.
But BOM just smiles that creepy, knowing smile that says she knows exactly how to push Jitae's buttons.
We get a glimpse into Bomb's perspective, seeing Jitae in a much softer light. Apparently, the big scary guardian has some cute reactions if you know how to tease him. This is definitely a ship that Yuriam wants to sink immediately.
Yuriam accuses them of doing weird stuff behind the sisters' backs and starts tickling Bomb to get the truth.
The tension breaks into a chaotic playfight, showing that even these terrifying dragons are basically just a bunch of rowdy siblings. Suddenly, Gul bursts in with massive news. The entire Lair community forum is blowing up because Yuriam has her very own fan cafe now. Our violent, floor-scrubbing rebel is officially a local celebrity. Yuriam is caught between being flattered and wanting to delete the internet.
Gul is way too excited about this, while BOM is just enjoying the chaos.
It is all fun and games until the fanboys start showing up at their front door. The next morning, we see Jitae getting ready. He is currently showing off the kind of abs that should be illegal in a school setting. Seriously, the man is built like a Greek god but has the social skills of a toaster. BOM decides that knocking is for losers and peeks into his room while he is half-dressed.
She has zero shame and is clearly enjoying the view.
Jitae just stands there, probably wondering why his life is like a reverse harem anime now.
She apologizes with a blush that is about as fake as a $3 bill. Jitae tells her to just come in already, and we can all feel the tension rising. Something tells me this is not going to be a normal conversation. BOM drops the final request, she wants Jitae to accompany her on an outing today. She is looking all cute and innocent, but we know the green dragon always has a hidden agenda. Is this a date or a trap? Either way, Jitae is in for a long day. Look at this green-haired beauty coming in hot with the rare requests. BOM is finally tired of being the background character in her own life and demands Jitae accompany her for the day. She is literally counting the receipts, pointing out how he spends all his time with the other girls while she gets 0 solo missions.
While the red-haired Yoriam is busy enjoying some casual violence and Joel is dreaming of fried chicken, BOM drops the absolute bombshell.
When asked why she is skipping school, she boldly announces she is asking Jitae out on a date. The audacity is off the charts and I am here for it. Gul decides to jump into the fire, teasing Jitae for playing favorites like some kind of high-stakes harem master. She even brings up her own mother who apparently handled 100 men at once but still had her favorites. Talk about a wild family tree, but Jitae is just standing there looking like he wants to evaporate. To really twist the knife, BOM starts acting like a tragic abandoned fish.
She claims Jitae is the type to catch a prize, and then let it rot in a cracked bowl without a second thought.
The guilt-tripping is top tier, and Jitae is officially trapped in her web.
Even Gul tells him to just go, reminding him that he cannot play babysitter 24/7.
Jitae finally caves because you cannot fight that kind of pouty energy. Meanwhile, we transition to the academy where the local NPCs are already gossiping about Bomb like she is some kind of unapproachable goddess.
The students are losing their minds over her perfect scores and visuals, but of course there is always that one hater.
They start mocking the Yu family name for being tacky, proving that even in a world of superhumans, high schoolers remain the absolute worst. It is time for social etiquette class, which is basically a fancy way of saying let us force awkward teenagers to touch each other. The professor announces they will be practicing social dancing, because apparently, being a hero requires knowing how to waltz without stepping on toes. Everyone starts pairing up, but Bomb is left standing alone. Even though she is the prettiest girl in the room, the boys are literally too terrified to approach her. Her aura is so intense they feel like they will get cursed just by looking at her. Imagine being so beautiful you are basically a boss monster. Finding herself partnerless, BOM decides to break the system. She asks the professor if she can just dance with her chaperone instead.
Jitae is sitting in the back minding his own business, and suddenly he is the center of attention.
BOM is not asking, she is claiming her prize. Jitae tries to hit her with the classic I do not know how to dance excuse, but BOM is not hearing it. She drags him onto the floor anyway, refusing to be left alone. The legendary warrior is about to face his greatest challenge yet, basic rhythmic movement. As they start the steps, Jitae is as stiff as a reinforced concrete pillar. BOM notices the tension and asks if he is actually embarrassed to be touching her. She tries to play it cool, saying a little hand-holding won't magically link their souls, but Jitae looks like he is preparing for a boss fight. The stress is becoming physical. Jitae is sweating buckets, and BOM is having the time of her life teasing him. It is hilarious to see a man who probably kills demons for breakfast getting absolutely folded by a simple dance lesson. Jitae is reaching his breaking point.
His hands are so sweaty it is practically a flood, and the internal panic is real.
He is trying so hard to keep it together, but the proximity to Bomb is doing more damage than a high-level spell. Suddenly, the tension hits a critical level and Jitae suffers a massive nosebleed. The poor guy is so overwhelmed he is literally leaking. BOM is genuinely concerned, asking if he needs a hospital, but Jitae is just trying to maintain whatever dignity he has left. He claims dragons do not need hospitals, which is the most metal excuse for a nosebleed I have ever heard. They take a break, and BOM is actually impressed by his skills. For a guy who said he could not dance, he was following the rhythm like a pro. Bomb is suspicious, asking where he learned to move like that. Jitae insists he never actually learned, but we get a glimpse of his past where he was practicing with someone else. His muscle memory is basically a cheat code at this point.
Even if he is a beginner, Bomb thinks he is a natural talent.
As the class ends, she is already planning their next move, asking if he is free after school for some more fun. She is determined to turn this into a full-blown date, and Jitae has no escape. While things are cute and fluffy at the academy, the vibe shifts instantly as we head to Moscow, Russia. We are at a demonic human research facility called Invisibility, and things are currently being deleted from existence.
The alarms are screaming and the hallways are painted red.
A shadow clone of Jitae is currently tearing the place apart like a bored kid with a magnifying glass over an anthill. The demonic humans are fleeing in absolute terror because a literal monster has entered their house.
One researcher thinks she can escape and contact headquarters, but she is dreaming.
Jitae's shadow clone corners her in the dark, and his presence alone is enough to make her soul leave her body. He is not there for a chat, he is there for information. He demands to know the location of a commander-class demonic human known as Prototype X. The researcher tries to act tough, saying she would rather die, but Jitae has heard that one before. He explains that when the pain gets real, all that human-like acting disappears. He describes how people become nothing more than puppets with cut strings once the agony takes over. In a terrifying callback to his date, the clone asks his victim if she would like to dance under the moonlight too. From high school waltzes to moonlight massacres, Jitae really is a man of many talents.
We start with a literal bloodbath, because our boy Jitae doesn't do things halfway.
His shadow clone is standing over a corpse like it is just another Tuesday, reporting in that Prototype X has been shipped off to the Invisibility headquarters. But wait, there is a spicy twist in this regression. Unlike the last few times Jitae lived through this nightmare, Prototype X is actually a female now. Talk about the world's most dangerous gender reveal party. Jitae is not taking any chances with this new variable. He orders his shadow to body snatch the identity of a researcher named Vera. It is time for some high-stakes infiltration to figure out who this mystery woman actually is. While Jitae sits there looking like a brooding K-drama lead, he is processing the terrifying lore of Prototype X. This thing is a commander-class demonic human, which is basically code for everyone is screwed. The ability this monster has is genuinely broken.
It binds thousands of demonic minds into one single consciousness.
The longer this thing breathes, the more powerful and insane it gets. It is a ticking time bomb of pure malice. In every other timeline, Jitae made it his personal mission to spawn kill this creature immediately. But now, with the identity change, finding her is like looking for a needle in a haystack made of demons. Our protagonist pulls out his literal cheat code, the Grand Clock Authority. His eyes start glowing with that I am the main character energy as he scans the timeline for any deviations or glitches in the Matrix. Then, the vibe shifts from World War III to rom-com real quick. BOM pops out from behind a curtain, looking way too adorable, and drags our grumpy regressor into a store for some summer shopping. BOM is out here choosing violence, asking Jitae if a bikini looks good on her. She is teasing him so hard it is actually criminal. Look at Jitae's face, he is trying so hard to stay stoic while his soul is leaving his body.
She even hits him with the "Are you having inappropriate thoughts?" line.
This girl is a menace. Jitae just wants to go home and brood, but BOM is the one person who can actually make this stone-cold killer blush. Finally, she drops the act and reveals they are actually there to buy presents for the other sisters. Apparently, the legendary warrior and the green dragon are just out here doing some wholesome errands. BOM is the ultimate big sister. She noticed Joel's teddy bear is looking like it survived a blender, so she wants to get the little one a replacement. My heart can't take this level of domestic fluff. She also plans to buy a high-end wallet for Gul so the poor girl doesn't feel like a total pauper at school. As for Uriam, that red-headed fireball saw something in a movie and wants a very specific gift. BOM splits the party and sends Jitae to the toy aisle alone. That is a huge mistake. Sending a man who spent his life killing demons to buy a baby doll is like sending a shark to buy a tutu. Enter our villain of the week, the predatory shop clerk. She sees Jitae standing there with a teddy bear, looking lost and handsome, and immediately marks him as a high-value target for a retail scam. She uses her scouter eyes to analyze his wallet potential.
She assumes he is a rich, clueless uncle and puts on her best fake customer service smile to drain his bank account.
Target secured, indeed. Jitae tells her the child is 4 years old. The clerk starts her sales pitch, claiming that simple dolls are for losers and that this kid needs high-end educational playsets for her emotional development. This woman is a pro. She starts showing him doctor kits and science sets, basically telling him he is a bad guardian if he doesn't buy the most expensive junk in the store. And Jitae is actually falling for it. She even tries to sell him on the bonding experience. Jitae imagines little Joel as a nurse with a giant syringe and decided that yes, this is exactly what a 4-year-old needs. Someone stop this man. The clerk is laughing all the way to the bank as Jitae buys a literal mountain of boxes.
She thinks she hit the jackpot, and honestly, seeing our overpowered MC get bullied by a retail worker is peak comedy.
But then, Jitae pulls out the ultimate flex, a VIP black card. The clerk's jaw hits the floor.
She realized she didn't just find a customer, she found a sugar daddy. No wonder he bought everything without blinking.
Now the clerk is in full seduction mode, asking if he has a girlfriend while blushing like a crazy person. She is ready to risk it all for that black card lifestyle. Too bad for her, the real boss is arriving. BOM appears out of nowhere and grabs Jitae's arm, marking her territory like a pro. The clerk's face when she sees a younger, prettier girl is absolutely priceless. The sister excuse doesn't fool anyone, honey.
BOM is not happy.
She roasts Jitae for buying a mountain of trash that Joel won't even like. The clerk tries to defend her commission, but you don't argue with a dragon when she is in shopping mode.
BOM shuts down the clerk with a single smile that says, "I will end you if you say one more word."
She knows exactly what Jill wants, and it is definitely not a 500-piece medical kit. She picks up a simple, soft teddy bear that looks just like the old one.
It is thoughtful, it is sweet, and it doesn't cost $1 million.
BOM is out here saving Jitae from his own stupidity. We jump back to their luxury villa as the sun sets. The girls are waiting at the door like a pack of hungry wolves. It is time for the great gift reveal, and the hype is real.
Jill gets her doll and is basically vibrating with joy.
Gul gets her fancy wallet and is already planning her next school flex. Even our grumpy janitor is feeling the wholesome vibes for a second. But then we get to Yuriam's gift. Oh boy. She asked for an adult toy because she saw it in a movie.
And no, it is not what you think, you perverts.
She pulls out a whip and handcuffs like a total psycho. Yuriam starts chasing Gul around with the handcuffs, calling her a monkey and demanding to test her new toys. This house went from a Hallmark movie to a mental asylum in 3 seconds flat. While the kids are being chaotic, BOM pulls Jitae aside for a private moment. She gives him a beautifully wrapped gift of his own. It is a new tie, because she noticed he always wears the same one like a generic NPC. Jitae is actually touched, which is rare for a guy who usually feels nothing but the urge to kill. BOM even promises to buy him a full suit once she starts making her own money. She is literally the perfect wife material. Jitae asks if she bought anything for herself.
She gives him a mysterious smile and says she will show him later.
Cut to her closet where that black bikini is hanging. Jitae has no idea what is coming for him. Fast forward a few weeks, and the piece is over. Jitae is in his room, looking sharp in his new tie, when his armored knight janitor walks in. It is time for a business trip, and it is going to be a long one. Jitae announces he is leaving for 3 days on a mission. But the real shocker? He is taking Yuriam with him. The red dragon is currently passed out on the floor like a bum, but she is about to become a lethal weapon. Welcome back to the academy, where the air is thick with the scent of desperation and preteen sweat. The legendary anti-demonic human battle simulation is finally starting, and these kids look like they're about to see their ancestors. It's a 3-day survival marathon trapped inside a virtual hellscape called the Ant Nest. Basically, it's a glorified video game where the losers get a face full of dirt instead of a game over screen. Every squad of 3 has to deal with a chaperone playing operator. It's supposed to be tactical and professional, but we all know it's just a way for the adults to babysit these ticking time bombs in high definition. Our girl Yuriam is already over it. She's watching her classmates shake like leaves and calling them out for being pathetic newborns who wouldn't know real combat if it bit them on the nose.
Jitae tries to play the responsible adult, reminding her that this isn't a solo carry mission.
Right on cue, two sacrificial lambs named Sojiro and Jian wander over, looking for a carry. Yuriam's response? A polite "get lost, losers." She has zero interest in dragging dead weight through a dungeon unless they actually spark her interest, which is a very short list. But Jitae, being the ultimate party pooper, accepts the two weaklings into the group anyway. Yuriam looks like she's about to breathe fire, and honestly, I don't blame her.
She gives her new teammates a warm welcome by promising to kill them herself if they even think about getting in her way.
Now that's what I call team spirit, folks. Enter Johnny, the local neighborhood bully who clearly skipped the How Not to Be a Prick seminar. He's busy slapping around a quiet kid and acting like he owns the place. Johnny is on a roll, mocking the poor kid for being an orphan. Because apparently, in this world, having no parents is a crime punishable by being bullied by a guy with a budget haircut. The other chaperones are just standing there watching the drama like it's a reality TV show. Johnny tells the girl to move her bangs because her face looks too gloomy for his liking. What a charmer. Yuriam wanders over, but she isn't there to save the day. She's just genuinely confused and asks the most awkward question possible: what exactly is an orphan? Johnny freezes up because even a bottom-tier bully knows that getting involved with the Red Dragon of the Blue Dragon School is a one-way ticket to the infirmary. He tries to play it cool, explaining that an orphan is just trash with no backing or money.
He really thinks he's found a kindred spirit in Yuriam, which is mistake number one.
This absolute clown then has the audacity to invite Yuriam to join his elite team, telling her to ditch the beggars she's currently stuck with. The level of delusion is staggering. Then comes the fatal error. Johnny puts his hand on Yuriam's shoulder like they're best buddies. You can practically hear the boss music starting as his life flashes before his eyes. Yuriam doesn't do warnings. She goes straight for the throat, asking this bowl-cut loser if he has a death wish. The vibe in the room just went from school project to crime scene. She calls him low-tier scum and makes it very clear that they are not equals. If she sees his face again, he's getting a permanent retirement from the academy. Johnny scurries away like a rat, while Yuriam is left fuming. Finally, Professor Jitae shows up to stop the bickering and actually explain how the suicide mission works. 50 teams are being dropped into the dungeon at different spots. It's a free-for-all where your every move is tracked and ranked in real time for everyone to see. Kills, deaths, and damage are all converted into points. And if you're bad enough to get killed, you have to wait 3 hours to respawn.
That's a lot of time to think about your life choices.
The gate opens and the teams start filing into the ant nest. It looks like a damp, miserable cave, which is the perfect setting for a bunch of teenagers to beat each other up. Yuriam steps inside and immediately wants to start a riot. She's ready to rush forward and destroy everything that breathes, strategy be damned. Yuriam tells them the plan is simple: follow her and try not to be useless. Jian tries to argue for a real strategy, but she's talking to a brick wall with red hair. Jitae jumps in to focus her energy, asking her which specific team she wants to hunt down first. He knows that if he doesn't give her a target, she'll just burn the whole cave down.
Yuriam's strategy is basically kill everyone in sight. She's not here for points or rankings, she's here for the satisfaction of hearing her enemy scream.
Meanwhile, Johnny is still nursing his bruised ego and his literal bruises. He's acting tough in front of his squad, claiming he was just testing Yuriam's reactions. Sure, buddy. His teammates call him out for his lies, but Johnny doubles down, swearing that if he meets her in the dungeon, he's going to tear her apart. Famous last words, if I ever heard them. Suddenly, a red blur drops from the ceiling like a nightmare. Johnny's face goes from tough guy to terrified toddler in approximately 0.2 seconds. Yuriam catches them completely off guard. She hits Johnny with a strike so fast his health bar doesn't even know it's supposed to be dropping yet. It's absolute carnage. Johnny's HP plummets from 100 to 17 in a single blink.
His team is screaming about a surprise attack, but they're already dead, they just don't know it yet.
Yuriam stands over them with a smile that would make a demon sweat.
She tells them they're misunderstanding the situation. This isn't a battle, it's a one-sided hunt, and they're just the little doggies on the menu. Imagine bringing a gun to a magic fight and still getting absolutely cooked.
This fodder really thought he was the main character, but Yoriam is here to remind him that he is just a walking delivery service for points.
Our red-haired menace is moving so fast the guy can barely track her with his scope.
He is screaming for her to stay back, but sweetie, in this world, if you see the red hair, it is already too late for your insurance policy.
One clean slash and his HP bar does a magic trick and disappears. Yoriam is out here treating a life and death simulation like a casual Sunday stroll, and honestly, the disrespect is top tier. Next up on the chopping block is a guy with a sword bigger than his future prospects. He is trying to act tough, but we all know how this ends.
Spoiler alert, it involves a lot of crying and a very broken ego.
This idiot actually shouts that he has the higher ground like he is in a space opera. Too bad for him, Yoriam does not follow the laws of physics or common sense. She is closing the gap like a guided missile.
He thinks a heavier weapon means a win, but he is about to learn that strength is not about the size of your blade, it is about who is swinging it.
Yoriam is looking at him like he is a particularly annoying bug she is about to squash. Absolute strength diff. She overpowers him so hard his sword might as well be made of plastic. His health hits 0 before he can even finish his sentence. That is what we call a professional skill issue, folks. Yoriam is literally yawning, complaining that she did not even get a proper warm-up. But wait, her teammates point out there is one last survivor hiding in the corner like a cockroach. Time for the final extermination. This poor guy has 17 HP left and is begging for his face to be spared. Bold of him to assume Yoriam has even an ounce of mercy in her body. One punch later and his HP is as non-existent as his dignity. The whole area is a graveyard of broken dreams. Her teammates are standing there in awe, finally realizing that their carry is basically a cheat code. Meanwhile, Jitae is just chilling in the back, looking like a secret boss. Team 37 is officially deleted from existence. The system announces their respawn timer while the survivors limp away. Jitae just stares them down with that cold, dead-inside gaze we all know and love. Rank check. After that total wipeout, Team 50 has jumped all the way to 6th place. The teammates are celebrating like they just won the lottery, but they clearly forgot who their leader is.
These two are so happy they did not take any damage, probably because they spent the whole fight hiding behind a rock.
They are calling Yoriam amazing, but the vibe is about to shift from yay to run for your life. Yoriam snaps and grabs Sojiro by the face. She is absolutely livid that they were just spectating like they were watching a Netflix special. If you are on her team, you either fight or you become her personal punching bag. She is roasting them for being sharpshooters who did not fire a single shot. Are those bows for decoration, or are you guys just that useless?
The fear in their eyes is the only thing keeping her from actually killing them.
First place or nothing. That is the Yoriam way. She forces them to fix their gear and stop acting like toddlers.
Jitae just watches the chaos, probably wondering if he can trade these two for a pack of instant noodles.
Flash forward 2 days and we are at the control room. The professors are watching the chaos unfold on a giant wall of monitors. It is the final day of the simulation, and the tension is high enough to snap a cable. Meet Professor Jitae, a man who looks like he has not slept since the dawn of time. He is asking for the rankings, and he is about to get a shock that might actually wake him up. Team 1 is in the lead, but Team 50 is breathing down their necks in 2nd place. When Jitae hears the name Yoriam, he immediately recognizes her as the local school psycho. Some reputations are just universal.
The professors realize Yoriam is basically a one-woman army, but the assistant points out their chaperone is the real mystery.
Jitae's tactical routes are so perfect they border on being psychic. Jitae is a pro operator himself, but he has never heard of anyone with Jitae's skill set. He is looking at the map data and realizing that Jitae is playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing tag in the dark. They try to do a background check on Jitae, but his history is cleaner than a freshly bleached floor. It is like his entire past was deleted with an eraser.
Nothing screams I am a retired legendary assassin like a blank resume.
While they puzzle over the mystery man, they notice something fishy with Team 1. These second-year elites are moving in a way that suggests they are talking to other teams. Smells like a conspiracy is brewing.
The assistant thinks it is cheating, but Jitae is actually impressed.
In the real world, forming alliances is a survival tactic. If you can manipulate your enemies into not killing you, you are already winning the game. But there is a catch: if they meet and don't fight, that is a straight-up violation. Jitae is waiting for the moment they slip up. Meanwhile, back in the dungeon, someone is about to have a mental breakdown. Urium is literally punching holes in the cave walls because they are still stuck in second place. She has gathered points like a maniac, but it is still not enough to satisfy her hunger for the top spot. Her teammates are begging for mercy. They are exhausted, bruised, and probably need therapy.
They think second place is impressive, but saying that to Urium is like asking a lion to be satisfied with a salad.
They argue that pushing harder might cause them to lose everything. They want to play it safe and coast to the finish line. Honestly, the level of cowardice in this squad is reaching record-breaking heights. Urium hits them with the ultimate red flag leader speech. She calls them losers who give up the moment things get slightly inconvenient. She is not just their teammate, she is their sleep paralysis demon now.
She reminds them of their promise not to drag her down.
You said you would be useful, so get your asses up and start acting like it. The sheer intensity in her eyes could probably melt a glacier.
She is literally screaming at them to stop living like losers.
It is harsh, it is toxic, and it is exactly what these two simps needed to hear.
They are crying, but at least they are standing up again.
The motivation works.
They are screaming and powering up, ready to take first place even if it kills them.
Urium has a tiny, terrifying smile on her face.
She has successfully brainwashed her squad into a suicide mission. Jitae interrupts the drama to show them something interesting carved into the walls. It is a set of secret symbols that proves the seniors have formed a massive alliance to gatekeep the top spots. Sojiro recognizes the marks. The seniors are using these signs to coordinate their movements and avoid each other while hunting down the underclassmen. It is a full-blown mafia setup inside a school exam. The teammates suggest reporting this to the professors.
They think the school will step in and punish the cheaters.
Poor kids, they clearly don't know who they are working with. Urium has a much better idea. Why snitch when you can just destroy them yourself? That evil grin tells us everything we need to know.
The Alliance thinks they are safe, but a redhead hurricane is coming to wreck their whole operation. Imagine being in first place and thinking you are actually safe.
These clowns have 40 minutes left in the simulation and they are already acting like they won the lottery. They are keeping a close eye on the clock, but they should be watching their backs.
Even though Team 50 is breathing down their necks, these seniors think a first year like Urium is just a fluke.
Enter our resident red-haired tryhard, Young Myango. He is from the prestigious Young House Sword clan, and he is already sick of his teammates yapping. This guy has zero chill. Myango is basically a walking daddy issue. He is desperate for acknowledgement from his patriarch and wants to prove he is better than his rival, Young Tiha. Calm down, bro, it is just a test. He tells his team to stay focused, but the cracks are already showing. Suddenly, the plan starts smelling like hot garbage. Is it just me, or did the map just stop making sense? The Senior Alliance is officially crumbling. Those markings they were using to navigate the dungeon? Yeah, they are completely messed up.
Someone is playing mind games and it is working.
Chaos is the only thing on the menu today. Massive conflicting signals are popping up everywhere, leaving Team 1 wandering around like lost puppies in a basement. Just when things could not get more awkward, Team 1 bumps into their allies from Team 3.
You can practically feel the sweat dripping off these guys as they realize they have no idea where to go.
It is a standoff between friends, but in this simulation, nobody is actually safe. The tension is so thick you could cut it with one of those overpriced swords they are carrying.
They realize Professor Quan Jitae is watching like a hawk.
If they fake a fight, he will catch them immediately. The solution? Beat the absolute soul out of each other for real. Logic 100. And just like that, the Senior Alliance turns into a mosh pit. They are swinging for the fences just to keep up appearances, while our girl Yoriam is watching from the balcony like a chaotic queen. Yoriam is having the time of her life. She is tucked away in the shadows, laughing at these idiots as they tear each other apart. This is peak entertainment, and she did not even have to pay for a ticket. The big reveal is here, and it is glorious. Yoriam had her teammates running around like graffiti artists, making fake markings to sabotage the seniors' coordination. She is literally gaslighting the entire dungeon. While her team was busy with the arts and crafts, Yoriam was out here hunting for points like a demon. She is closing the ranking gap while the seniors are busy arguing over wall scratches. She even assigned Jitae to play bodyguard for her team. Jitae is out here asking if he is just a mere object. Honestly, bro, with your power level, you are a literal cheat code, so just roll with it. Yoriam is too focused on her cool plan to give Jitae a straight answer. She is basically the director of this horror movie, and everyone else is just an extra waiting to get deleted. Notification alert. Team 1 just got the news that all members of Team 3 have been eliminated.
Their lead is slipping away, and they are starting to realize they are the ones being hunted.
Talk about a dramatic entrance. Yoriam reveals herself to the survivors of Team 1, calling herself the real villain appearing amidst the chaos. The main character energy is off the charts. She is standing there with that "I own this place" look while the seniors are shaking in their boots. She orders Jitae to handle the trash while she prepares to take the crown from the leaders. Myungo is trying to act tough, but he knows he messed up.
He admits that Yoriam's strategy was actually brilliant, which is a lot coming from a guy who thinks his family name is a personality trait.
He tells his teammate Wei to go handle the small fry up top. Wei is hesitant, but Myungo drops the "don't make me repeat myself" line. Classic toxic leader behavior, we love to see it. Wei reluctantly prepares to jump into action.
He thinks he is going to have an easy time, but he has no idea that Jitae is waiting for him.
This is going to be a one-way trip to the infirmary. Jitae does not just move, he explodes. He hits with so much force that the ground beneath him basically gives up on life. This is not a fight, it is a physics lesson in momentum. Jitae greets the other two with a "hi friends" that is absolutely terrifying. You know you are in trouble when the guy who looks bored is the strongest person in the room. Before Wei can even process what is happening, he is airborne. Jitae sends him flying through the air like a helpless weight. The disrespect is legendary. Even Yoriam has to stop and look at the flying senior. She literally calls him a flying pig. I am telling you, her savagery knows no bounds. But there is no time for jokes because Myungo is finally stepping up. He lunges at Yoriam, trying to reclaim his dignity. The clash of their blades is the only thing echoing through the dungeon.
Myungo is screaming about how he is the one she should be paying attention to.
Bro, we get it, you want the spotlight, but you are currently losing to a first year. Take the L gracefully. He admits her plan was impressive, but then he goes right back to being arrogant. He tells her she should be satisfied with second place because his house is destined for the top spot. The delusion is real. Yoriam just laughs in his face. She rejects his entire family legacy with one sentence. She is not here for silver medals, she is here to take everything. With the clock ticking down to the final seconds, the struggle for victory reaches its peak. Jitae is just standing there looking cool while Yoriam prepares to deliver the final blow to Team 1's ego. First place is hers. Imagine being chased through a cave by seniors who clearly have too much free time. Sojiro and Jian are currently in the struggle bus, huffing like they just ran a marathon through hell. Sojiro looks like he is about to see the light, and not the good kind.
Jian has to remind him that failing here means facing Yoriam later, which is basically a one-way ticket to the afterlife.
Our boy decides to pull a desperate final stand, but his body is basically saying absolutely not. He spent all his mana earlier acting like a dungeon vandal, and now the bill is due. He tries to aim his bow, but the strength in his arms is gone. It is honestly painful to watch this level of cooked. The seniors are just closing in, smelling the easy elimination. This senior really has the audacity to stand there and mock them. He is calling our first year's Lostais and acting like he is the main character of a cultivation novel. The ego on this guy is insane. Sojiro is literally shaking, trying to hold a knife like a scared kitten. The senior just laughs and prepares to deliver the most disrespectful slap in history. Talk about a hierarchy check. And just like that, Sojiro gets eliminated with a quack sound effect. His HP hits 0 and he is officially out of the game, leaving poor Jian to deal with these bullies all by herself. The seniors are having a grand old time laughing at the first year's expense.
They really think they have already won because they managed to bully a kid who was already out of breath.
But wait, Jian is not just a damsel in distress.
She is covered in blood and dirt, but her eyes are glowing.
She activates Blessing Eye, the sniper, and suddenly the vibe in the cave shifts.
The seniors are still yapping, thinking her mana gun is just a toy.
Jian takes the shot, but it looks like a total miss.
Everyone thinks she has finally lost her mind from the stress.
This senior is literally cackling, telling her to know her place because she cannot even aim properly. Little does he know, he is about to experience a top-tier reality check.
Jian is just smiling through the blood, asking him what the hell he is talking about.
She did not miss him, she hit the ceiling. And look at that, a massive boulder is currently falling on his head. Tactical genius alert. The senior gets absolutely flattened by the environment. Jian basically used the dungeon as her own personal hitman. That is what happens when you underestimate a Lostai. With that glorious trap, Jian is officially done. Her HP hits 0 from the backlash and exhaustion, but she did her job. She took out a senior while basically being a zombie. Respect. Now we cut to Myungo, the self-proclaimed leader of the top team. He wakes up from a blackout and expects to see his team winning, but instead, he finds himself alone in a graveyard of dead teammates. He is absolutely stunned to hear that his entire squad got wiped out. The Guardian has to break the news that his team is basically history, and it was all thanks to one red-haired menace.
Enter Yoriam looking bored out of her mind.
She is literally yawning while Myungo tries to process his failure. She expected a challenge, but all she got was a bunch of mid-tier targets. He charges in with his sword, but Yoriam is just dodging like she is playing a rhythm game. She is not even trying and she is already making this elite warrior look like a complete amateur. She literally steps on his head and tells him that the inferior one is actually him. The level of disrespect is off the charts. Myungo is getting rolled like a sushi roll and he knows it. Myungo manages to block a hit, but he is shaking like a leaf.
He realizes that if he does not use his secret trump card now, he is going to be the laughingstock of the entire academy.
He admits she is strong, but he starts yapping about the gap between their skills. He has been training in secret for years just to prove he is better than the actual heirs of his clan. Here comes the hype. He starts channeling his mana, and the air around him is turning into literal blades. This is the secret technique of the Yong House, and he is ready to bet everything on it. Yong House Sword Arts, First Form, Rising Dragon. The visuals are actually insane. A giant blue dragon of energy is swirling around him, and it looks like Yoriam might actually have to try for once. The attack is unleashed, and the wind is literally cutting through everything. Yoriam is taking damage as her HP starts ticking down. Myungo is feeling like a god right now. Even the instructors are shocked.
They did not think a student could master a high-level clan technique in secret.
Myungo is finally getting the attention he craves, but he is still yapping. He is so high on his own hype that he is already imagining the elders of his house praising him.
He thinks he is finally better than his rival Tiha.
Someone please tell this man he is still in a simulation. He follows up with even more speed, trying to overwhelm her before she can recover. The cave is basically being shredded by his mana. It is a light show, but Yoriam is still standing. Second form, Dragon Blade Flash. He is moving so fast he is just a blur. This is supposed to be the finishing move that secures his place at the top of the leaderboard. The energy explosion is massive.
He really thinks he just deleted the monster girl from existence.
He is breathing hard, waiting for the system to announce his glorious victory. He stands there in the smoke, feeling himself.
He is thinking about all the years he spent training in secret just for this moment.
The inferior girl should be gone, right? Wrong. We get a quick flashback of him sweating in a dojo, dreaming of being acknowledged.
It is almost sad how much his self-worth is tied to a sword art.
Too bad he picked the wrong opponent.
Myungo looks down and realizes his hand is empty.
Is the only thing he can say. Urium is standing behind him, casually holding his broken sword like it is a piece of trash. She is mocking his renowned clan nonsense, pointing out that a swordsman without a sword is just a dumbass. The emotional damage here is way higher than the physical damage. Urium decides to end this comedy show with a custom technique. She calls it the 999th form, and the subtitle literally says it is for fucking up a yapper. I love this girl. One final, brutal swing with his own broken blade, and Myungo is sent flying. He is literally mid-air, realizing his actual sword skill was not enough to stop a girl who is basically a natural disaster. Myungo's HP hits 0, and the simulation is officially over.
Urium stands over his corpse with the most savage smile ever.
Team 50 has officially secured the first place spot. The 3-day trial is done, and Urium finally lets herself collapse. She is so tired she is literally asking for Gull's healing while smiling at the ceiling. She really carried the whole team. Imagine it is a beautiful spring day and suddenly the sky decides to drop a blizzard on you. Meet Gull, our resident blonde chaos magnet, who is casually sipping tea while the world turns into a freezer. So, what is the solution? Obviously, making the household janitor dress up like a budget magical girl. Gull convinces this poor armored simp that a pink frilly dress is exactly what a depressed dragon needs to see. Look at this absolute unit in a tutu. He is ready to melt hearts, or at least cause some serious psychological trauma.
Meanwhile, Tiny Jewel is just sitting there, probably wondering why her life is a comedy skit.
The janitor hits her with the "would you like to play princess" line while posing like a cursed anime mascot. Jewel looks like she is reconsidering her entire existence. This is not cute, it is a horror movie in broad daylight. Just when the cringe reaches lethal levels, Balm walks in to witness the madness. She is the only one with a brain cell left, immediately demanding to know what kind of fever dream she just stepped into. BOM tells the janitor to go wash his sins away before he scares the kid for life. Gull, being the professional snake she is, immediately denies everything and whistles like she did not just orchestrate this disaster. Finally, the heavy hitters arrive. Jitae and Urium are back from their battle simulation, and the red dragon is already complaining about the snow. She is high energy, aggressive, and clearly has zero chill. Urium claims she brought Gull a present, but since they are sisters, you know it is a trap.
She shoves a snowball down Gull's back, and the scream that follows is pure music to any younger sibling's ears.
But wait, it gets worse. Urium casually mentioned she mixed some dog poop into that snowball. That is some top-tier petty energy right there. The house is a total circus, and Jitae is just trying to survive the day. Amidst the chaos, Joel approaches Jitae with something actually wholesome. She hands him a sketchbook, and honestly, the tension in the room just evaporates. Even a stone-cold MC like Jitae can't ignore this. The drawing is a masterpiece of stick figures.
It shows the whole dysfunctional family, including the janitor crying in the corner and Jitae holding Joel like a king.
It is a total my heart moment in a world of red flags.
Jitae realizes that despite the constant bickering and the dog poop snowballs, these dragons actually see him as their pillar.
He gives a rare, soft smile that probably just saved the entire neighborhood from a frostbite death.
To celebrate not being total monsters for 5 minutes, Jitae announces a 2-day trip.
The girls lose their minds because who does not love a vacation?
Suddenly, the supernatural snow stops because the little dragon is finally happy.
The sky clears up instantly. It is amazing what a little bit of paternal attention can do for a dragon's mood. The neighbors are probably confused as hell, but our squad is too busy packing their bags for the ultimate road trip. They head to Severodvinsk, which is basically the middle of nowhere in Russia. Jitae claims he found this secret paradise while clearing a high-level dungeon. Typical MC behavior, finding vacation spots while murdering monsters. Gul is absolutely vibing with the scenery.
The water is crystal clear, the sun is out, and for once, nobody is trying to kill each other.
It is the calm before the inevitable storm of chaotic energy. Urium is complaining about why they had to drive instead of just teleporting.
Jitae wants them to experience the human way of traveling, but let's be real, he just wanted a quiet car ride away from their screaming.
BOM tries to follow Jitae while he goes to set up camp, but he shuts her down, telling her to watch the kid. The big sister energy is strong, but BOM has other plans that involve a lot more fan service than babysitting. While the girls play, Jitae is out here foraging like a survivalist. He finds some mushrooms that look like they belong in a witch's cauldron. If you see a purple mushroom with red spots, maybe do not put it in the soup, bro. Jitae gets the campsite ready and calls the girls over. He is expecting a nice, quiet dinner, but he forgot who he is dealing with. These dragons are basically black holes for food and drama. Boom. BOM appears in a bikini, and the fan service levels just hit the ceiling. She is totally teasing Jitae, asking if he finally sees her as a woman. Jitae is trying to stay stoic, but the man is fighting for his life.
BOM is not holding back, reminding him that she wore this at the department store just for him.
She is the ultimate one-step-ahead waifu, and Jitae's poker face is starting to crack under the pressure. Urium and Gul are in the background losing it. Urium starts roasting Jitae, asking if he is pitching a tent in more ways than one. The disrespect is legendary. She even offers to wear a micro-bikini just to mess with him. Jitae decides to end the teasing with a well-placed flick to Urium's head. That is divine punishment for stealing his cup noodles earlier. The beach day is officially peaked, and now it is time for the disaster chef to cook. Jitae presents his mushroom hot pot, and it looks like a bowl of straight poison. The broth is glowing purple, and there are dark chunks floating in it that look like they could gain sentience at any moment. Even the dragons, who eat literal monsters, are terrified. Urium says even a dog wouldn't touch this fucking disgusting mess. Gul is having flashbacks to surviving the Amazon and says she would rather starve. Jitae is offended because BOM usually eats his cooking without complaining. BOM just stays quiet because she is a loyal simp, but even she looks a bit worried about the purple sludge. Urium demands cup noodles immediately. Suddenly, Tiny Joel just walks up and takes a massive spoonful. The whole family freezes. They are expecting her to keel over or turn into a frog, but the little dragon is just casually chewing the poisoned soup. Jitae mumbles that it is actually good for the body, but nobody believes him until the impossible happens. Joel looks up, her eyes sparkling, and the silence in the woods is so thick you could cut it with a sword. She speaks. The little dragon finally opens her mouth and declares the food is delicious. The sisters are absolutely shook. The depressed dragon is healed, the poisoned soup is a hit, and Jitae's dad points just went over 9,000.